Okay, look at me and then go for it. Okay.
Okay, my name's Dave Axtell, A-X-T-E-L-L. I served in Nigeria as a science teacher from 1962 to 1964. And I was in the eastern region in a little village called Afuguri. It was just north of a major city called Umuahia.
Okay, can you remember any anecdote, a little story from back then?
A little story.
A storm or on a bus.
I have a good story. A friend of mine and I decided to drive down to a town called Aba, which is, maybe 30 miles south of Umuahia. And we had motorcycles. Anyway, we started out with the sky blue, no clouds. As we kept going, the clouds gathered. By the time we got about halfway, there was this immense thunderstorm that happened all over us. We were driving along with water running down the inside of our pants legs. The thunder. We went into this little mud hut to get out of the rain. The hut dissolved around us. We went back out, got on our motorcycles, kept going. The clouds all cleared away. The sun came out. By the time we got to Aba, we were completely dry.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was a great story.
My name is Jim Clark. I was in Nigeria as a member of Peace Corps Group Nigeria 12. From 1964 to 1966. I was in a career development agricultural group and stationed in the little village of Umaduru between Okigwe and Umuahia in eastern Nigeria at the time. I have many good memories. I suppose my favorite memory is of the people that I met in the village I lived in and the great relationship we had and the wonderful esteem in which they held me and I held them. We had a wonderful relationship. I don't have any particular special memory other than that, but I do remember the way they treated me, which was wonderful.
Have you been back?
No, I have not been back. I would like to go back, but I have not been back yet. We had a group that went back in '99, I think, but I did not go with that group and I haven't been back, but I would love to go back.
My name is Karen Kiefer. I served in Nigeria from 1966 through 68 in Ofa, doing a teacher in-service education program, which is a pilot program for Peace Corps. At the time, we were teaching primary school teachers. After they'd finished teaching during the day, we'd have a session in the late afternoon, 3 to 6, and then on Saturday from 10 to 2. It was in a program where the Nigerian government had tried to have a correspondence course for the teachers to raise their level of education from a grade 3 certification to a grade 2 within 5 years, or they'd be out of teaching if they didn't pass all of the required subjects. And they couldn't go back to Teachers College full-time for a year because they had families in their teaching positions. So they didn't succeed. The Nigerian government didn't succeed with their correspondence course 2 years in a row, although they kept the fees from the teachers. So they asked Peace Corps to come over and teach it the third year, go out, collect the funds from the people, say, look, we're really here, administer the program, open up makeshift teachers' colleges, excuse me, throughout northern Nigeria, and then teach them. So the first year we taught English, composition and grammar, and advanced arithmetic, which most problems could be solved by algebra, but we had to do it by arithmetic, showing every piece of work. And those were really interesting, long. Some it took 15 minutes for me to write every step, and they only had like 2 hours to do 40 questions. So it turned to, and then the second year we would teach health and physical education, geography, and history. And I got the results from the first year. My teachers had the highest pass rate in all of the country, even in full-time teachers' colleges for English and arithmetic. And so I was selected to go to Liberia in September '68, leave my post, leave my students to go to Liberia and help the second TISIP group get started. So I was in Liberia for the second year, for that session for a month, and then came back, and it's just, that was the most incredible experience of my life. I made such good friends there. I'm still very good friends with people that lived across the hall from me, Bimpi and Folari Deloye. And I took care of their 2-year-old daughter, Jola, and their months-old son, Banchi, for a year while the mom went back to get her master's degree. The couple had met at Trinity College in Ireland and returned to Nigeria, and there were 5 families that lived in a 2-story home, and we took up a quarter of the house and they took up the other side, and so we were very good friends. And Jola I re-met here. She lived in Maryland, just about 5 miles from my house, and went to church 3 blocks from my house for 5 years before I reconnected with her. And she was married and had 2 sons. I'm still in touch with them, and Bimpi is coming to America in another month, and I'm going to be seeing her for the first time since 1968. She was my best friend. The whole experience of Peace Corps changed my life so much that I started an African agenda when I went to D.C. and was working in Peace Corps headquarters. Started it with Return Volunteers from Africa, and that folded into when we co-founded the RPCV Washington. And then when the National Council had their first meeting in Omaha, I went out there and we co-founded that. And then I did the 20th anniversary conference for 1,700 volunteers. It's just, Nigeria, that experience was just overwhelming. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Jack Finley, and I was in Nigeria. They called us Nigeria 3. We were sandwiched in between Nigeria 1 and Nigeria 2. Nigeria 2 actually started working before we did. They were University of Nsukka, but I was stationed in Edo Ekiti. Ekiti is a region in the western Yoruba part of. I had a motorcycle, and I lived in Ekiti, but I was going to the western capital in Ibadan, and on the way down there, it was pouring down rain, and I was going there to see a prize fight, a middleweight between Dick Tiger, who's a Nigerian, and Gene Fulmer, who was an American. Gene Fulmer at the time was champion. Dick Tiger was a challenger. And on the way down there, pouring down rain. And this is the middle of the dry season, but there's a rainy part in there. Middle of the rainy season, but a dry part in there. And on the way, rain, all the way down before I got about 25 miles from Ibadan, and the rain stopped. The sun came out. And of course, what happened was that the government had hired the local doctors to stop the rain. And I'm a believer now, so that's my story. And I'm sticking to it. That it? Okay.
Hi, I'm Joan Lund. I had the pleasure of working as a math teacher in Lagos, Yava rather, and Lagos City College. And I just got an email from one of my students before I came here. It's awesome. I was there from 1965 to 1967. I was married there, and very much appreciate the experience I was offered.
name is David Keeley. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Nigeria from 1966 through 1969. I taught at a boys' secondary school in Yola, Nigeria, which is in the north of the country, at least it was then. I understand there are 36 states now, as were at that time there were only 4, and had a very good time with that. The anecdote that I have is that when I arrived in country, I went to Yola and met my roommate in Yola, and he told me that a massacre had taken place the week before I got there, and that his Igbo cook was not massacred, but that he was in the local jail at the time being protected because they were taking all the Igbos in the country and floating them down the river to their homeland. And so it was kind of a stark start to my existence, but I was never in danger, although I was there during the Biafran War, and that was the start of what was happening with this.